Ja. So, mein lieber Scholli, ich bin also ziemlich gerührt. I am quite humbled to be here today. And everybody who's watching this video, there's two legendary people sitting in front of me. And I'll give you, in a second, I will give you an idea who that is. To my left is Bruno Paillard, I think one of the most magnificent champagne producers. And we've seen a wonderful lunch here at your house, Bruno, thank you. First of all, and to your right is an old-time friend of yours, I understand. You know each other for a long time. A chef which I really admire for a cuisine which is so straightforward, so pure, and this lunch really has taken us to another world. This is Joel Robuchon, thank you, and thank you for doing this in English. I know it would be much better to do this interview in French, but many of my friends do speak English, so that's very kind of you. I have a first question to you, Bruno, is one thing regarding your champagnes. They are really straightforward champagnes, and you regard yourself as a composer. Why is that?
Well, it's because it's my taste, and I create my wines in a manner that I wanted right from the beginning of when I created Maison Bruno Paillard. I made some commitments, like for instance, using only the first pressing in order to keep the most purest juice, the juice with the highest acidity, also delivering freshness and elegance. I mature them very long, so to soften a little bit the edge of this acidity, and I respect my wines. They are extremely pure, exactly like I do in my vineyards. You know, I plug my soil. I respect Mother Nature. I try to have the best possible grapes, and then I try to keep it as natural as possible.
Okay, Joel, I understand Bruno Paillard is one of your favorite champagnes. Why is that?
Écoutez, j'ai assisté un jour à une dégustation de plusieurs champagnes à l'aveugle, et je dis toujours que pour bien comparer les champagnes, il faut les mettre les uns à côté des autres. Et le champagne qui a fini le premier à l'aveugle, c'était sur les bruts non millésimés, et c'était le champagne Bruno Paillard. Donc depuis que j'ai goûté le champagne Bruno Paillard, je le sers dans tous mes restaurants à travers le monde. On le sert en plus quand c'est le brut non millésimé en mineur. Et c'est vrai qu'on a un certain succès auprès de la clientèle parce qu'il me plaît à moi, mais il plaît surtout aux clients. Donc c'est quelque chose, parce que vous savez que le champagne Bruno Paillard est un champagne en plus qui n'est pas très dosé. Je crois que ça correspond à une époque aujourd'hui, et je pense que ce qui contribue aussi à son succès.
Today we have seen that champagne is not only an aperitif, we have seen it can match wonderful through a whole meal, a 5-course menu with many different items. What is the secret really? Because many people still think in champagne as an aperitif or as a beverage only for, let's say, the rich and famous. And we've seen something totally different here, Bruno.
Well, champagne, I'm talking of great champagne. Great champagne above all is a great wine. It happens to be a sparkling wine, of course, because it's a wine that undergoes a secondary fermentation inside the bottle, which means that the bubbles will come absolutely naturally through this fermentation. But champagne is, above all, is a great wine coming from this small specific region which is called Champagne, which covers only 34,000 hectares, which has very poor soil, a very chalky soil, you know, which is the remains of an old sea in millions of years ago, which is a concretion of the shells, which is the reason why we can get so iodic kind of taste in our wines. And we also have, together with this poor soil, we have a very poor climate. We are semi-continental, so we have some influence from the Gulf Stream, but we have also some continental influence. We have a short, warm summer, and we have maturation together with high acidity, which is necessary for the freshness. You know, acidity is no negative. There is no great wine without acidity, and this is one of the typical point about champagne.
Thank you. I think so. It really diversity. That's what makes it. And then this what I've seen, Joel. For me, this was a one of a kind thing to see how you match the food with the champagne. What is the secret? I have many young chefs watching this, and probably many people and many gourmets are eager. How do you do this? It's like what do you need first?
Oui, je crois qu'il faut dire quand même que le champagne se marie assez bien avec toute la nourriture. Vous pourrez mettre le nombre de plats invraisemblables avec le champagne, ce qui n'est pas le cas avec des Bordeaux ou avec du Bourgogne déjà. C'est vrai qu'il y a des associations qui sont meilleures, d'autres avec le champagne, mais je crois que c'est les associations les plus faciles sont le plus faciles avec le champagne. Pour moi, c'est beaucoup plus difficile de faire une association avec un Bourgogne qu'avec le champagne. Parce que le champagne se prête, on arrive toujours à trouver un champagne qui va se prêter très facilement avec un nez.
So c'est un caméléon?
Well, maybe the only exception would be sweet desserts, because I produce only brut champagne, which means very dry, without much residual sugar. So my champagne being so pure, I've almost no residual sugar. And so the only exception could be maybe garlic or desserts, sweets, because if there is too much sugar in the dish, then it doesn't go very well with the champagne, which in that case would seem too acidic. But if you are talking of, you know, a blanc de blanc, for instance, with seafood, with a citrusy freshness, the almond fresh, you know, fresh mandarin or green lemon of a young blanc de blanc like our Réserve Privé, or the deepest texture of a vintage blanc de blanc. These two go very well on different kind of seafood, and we had the experience today.
But what I thought was the most magnificent thing I've seen today was the purity of your wines and the purity of your food, Joel. Coming to a little bit to your philosophy, it was very much based upon the product quality. It's
je crois que vous savez que pour faire de la bonne cuisine, moi je sais faire qu'avec des bons produits. Donc c'est toujours trouver les meilleurs produits possibles, c'est trouver le meilleur champagne possible et trouver exactement le meilleur produit. Parce que je sais, une cuisine qui est sophistiquée est facile à faire, parce que je crois que le consommateur ne connaît pas, il n'a pas de point de repère et il est beaucoup plus réceptif quelquefois. Mais quand c'est une cuisine qui est très dépouillée, là la cuisine demande d'abord avoir un bon produit et en plus d'être bien faite. Là, ça ne supporte pas la médiocrité. Et plus je vieillis, plus je me rends compte que c'est beaucoup plus difficile de faire simple et bon.
I think that's, yeah. Bruno?
I totally agree with that. As I would say, occasionally I would say, plus c'est simple, plus c'est compliqué. Mais what I mean with that is that to achieve absolute purity and which looks simple, in fact requires lots of precision, many small decisions all together, which must all be the right decision at each step of the process. You know, it's as I said earlier, we are not, whether Joel or myself, we are not a Picasso or Matisse. They would take any pencil, any sheet of paper, make 2 minutes drawing, and immediately it would be a Picasso or it would be a Matisse. We are not like that. We are, I would say, hard workers and perfectionists, where we must go through hundreds of small details, each of which is absolutely crucial. And it's the same thing between the cuisine that Joel creates or the wines that I create. We are, as we would say, laboureurs. You know, we are people who work hard and long, and not immediate genius, because it's not the truth, even if it's romantic to think so.
I say thank you very, very much. And you know, you too can make someone's world really miserable or much better. Sometimes it depends on where you are. If you're not in it, if you're out of the game, it's miserable. When you're in it, it's the best. And we thank you so much for having us. Bye-bye.
Thank you for being with us. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.